Hello, everyone. How are you? Here to let you know what happened on Alone, Season 9, Episode 3. Um, it shows 6 contestants out of the nine's journey up to day 15. In case you didn't know, last week Jakar quit on day 15 of his journey because he felt bad for killing a squirrel. Still trying to get over that fact. Now, anyways, on to the show. About the show, I mean. Pablo. Show what was going on with Pablo. On day 14, he was right outside of his archway of a shelter, which his doorway is covered completely full of spruce tree branches. Uh, he fired at a squirrel, missed it. He said, "Man, I can't hit nothing now," he said. So he went to try his luck fishing. And as he was going down to the lake, he came across a fresh bear print. It spooked him out. So he went back to the camp, and on day 15, he had took some more of those rusty cans he had found on day 1 there to make his homemade chimney inside the shelter out of. He had a few cans left, so he punctured holes through them, using some rusty nails he found and bit into some trees that he found where he's at. He strung some snare wire through them and set up like a warning system outside of his campsite there. So he said if the bear happens to try to get inside of his camp, he said the cans would make a rattling noise and will alert him that something's around. Pretty smart thinking there for Pablo, I thought. Benji. I felt bad for Benji, folks. I did. On day 13, he was out enjoying the sunset, overlooking the mountain view. It was beautiful scenery there. He's decided he can't wait 30 days to build his shelter. He wanted to wait 30 days, same as Tom was doing. But Benji's decided I can't wait 30 days. It's getting colder out. I got to build my shelter now. So he started working on it. He's making his shelter like a square shape. He got some logs down, wedged them into some trees, across some trees, into other logs. He placed his tarp all the way across it, fastened up with paracord and some rope, and he called it quit for the day. On day 15, he was out about. He saw a squirrel coming down a tree. He killed it with an arrow, cooked it up, had some zinc on it in it to help him out. He decided to go try his luck fishing. He's catching a lot of fish, folks. Like, a lot of fish. He said, I got a good spot for fishing. So what he's doing is there's like a rock in the water and like at the edge of the lake, and he's putting the fish underneath of it, like using rope and that, holding them in place. So he said that way I could just pluck a fish out, cook it up when I need to. Smart fake Benji. But as he was going back home, he came across a beaver trail. So he followed that, saw the beaver, he set his fishing rod down, picked up his bow and arrow, and he fired at the beaver twice. He hit it the second time. It went under the water though, and it never resurfaced. He searched and searched for, I don't know, like 4 hours straight. He finally found the arrow that hit the beaver. The tip of the arrow was completely red, full of blood, so he's like, I nailed it good. He said, hopefully next morning, he said, because night time's coming, I gotta get back to camp. He said, hopefully the next morning I come out, it's dead here somewheres. He's afraid because where he found the arrow, the water is like heading out into the lake, the main part of the lake, so he's afraid that it went out further into the lake. He said, if that's the case, he's not going to get the beaver. It's going to be long gone or dead. I have no way of finding it. So he's hoping that it's not in the main part of the lake, it's on the outskirts of the lake, he's hoping. Adam. On day 14, he was doing some target practice with his bow and arrows. He lost 2 of them, so he only has a few left, and he decided, you know what, I'm gonna make the ends of the arrows brighter, so they're like pink and green. He cut more strips of his hair because he took his hat off. He ain't got no neon green or pink hair left, folks. Like, I think he used the rest of that for the ends of those arrows. So they're freaking bright, and they are. So he said, that way if I do lose him, I might be able to find him. So he decided I can't risk it. So while he was out and about, there was a grouse up a tree. He decided to throw a stick at it. He missed it, so he cursed himself. So on day 15, he decided, you know what, I gotta use my bow and arrow more. So he went out fishing, do some fly fishing there. He brought along some fly fishing material as a part of his items you could choose. Out fishing, have no luck whatsoever. He went up and down the lake. No luck where he's at, in his zone. So he decided to extend his line. So it cast out further. The first cast he did, he lost the fly he had, and he got mad. And he's like, screw this. It's been 15 days, haven't caught nothing no more. Threw that fishing rod down. Called it quits. He's just focusing now on game hunting. That's all he's going to do, is just focus on hunting big game. Carrie Lee. Day 15, only thing they showed of her was she washed her hair in a pot of warm water. She started working on her shelter, which is like a teepee style shelter, on top of an embankment on a hill, because she wants to look down, see what's happening. She got it built, but she left the doorway to her shelter completely wide open, because she said, I want to see at all times what's going around my campsite. She said, I don't care if it's going to rain or snow. It's not going to bother me. I think it's going to. Because when winter comes, I think it's going to backfire on her, folks. Because you got to have being completely enclosed in your shelter when the cold weather hits. So I think that's going to come back and bite her in the butt. Jessie, on day 12, she took a hatchet and she stripped away all the bark from some fallen trees and branches she had cut down, and she was building her shelter. Well, geez, her shelter, man, it's like, it reminds me back in the day when I went to school, like those monkey bar maze, when you went across the monkey bar, jumped down, went in, like the monkey bar maze, I called it. Her shelter's like that, like, holy bejeebus. But she's got all tarped up, she's got moss all around it to keep the cold out. And that, she decided to call it quits halfway through her shelter building on day 12 to preserve energy. Come day 15, the shelter's completely set up, built, and she has set some squirrel traps out in the woods using some snare wire, and she caught 2 squirrels. But she felt bad for killing them like Jakar did last week. She felt bad for doing it, but she said, I know I got to kill wildlife to keep going in this competition, to win the $500,000, which she wants to build a survivalist wild school thing to teach people how to survive the wild, like Carrie wants to do as well. And I honestly, folks, I'm going to admit it, I did get a little teary-eyed because she caught a baby squirrel, and I won't call it a baby squirrel, it was a small squirrel. And the other squirrel was on the same log. And she showed us, like, trying to get the squirrel to get up, not knowing that it's dead. And it took off, chirping up the tree, so she felt bad, so she did not take that squirrel. She left it there. But she took the other one back to camp, cooked that up, and ate that. Igor. Oh, yeah, Igor. Yeah, Igor. What? Igor, hard to pronounce his name. Sorry there. He's had no luck whatsoever. On day 15, he's not caught a single fish. He hasn't caught any squirrels, any grouse, nothing. And what his zone that he got dropped off at, he said it's like the wildlife is scarce. He said, like, he doesn't want to go further inland to go hunting, but he might have to. And he has no shelter still. The only thing he's got built is a sandbox, like a square-shaped sandbox thing going on at the edge of the lake. And then he decided to go to sleep that night and realized, geez, this grass is awfully wet. Well, no, Doug, you the edge of the lake. So now he's going to cut down some tree logs and branches and that. And he's going to fasten together and build a bed out of them to put on the ground there so it won't be so wet. And you know what he's been eating for 15 days, folks? Seaweed. Just seaweed. Like, no seasoning added on that thing or nothing. He's just eating seaweed. He said, I don't know how much longer I can go just eating seaweed, he said. He said, it looks like I'm always starting to lose some of weight. He showed us. He thinks that he's losing weight. Not a whole lot, but he knows he's lost a few pounds at least. Well, I don't know, but eating seaweed, man, going 15 days straight. Can you imagine, like, if he wins the contest just eating up a seaweed? That'd be crazy. Yes, and that was everybody. So there you go. Still 9 people left in the competition. Who's gonna win the $500,000? For what I've seen, I'm saying Tom. If he smartens up and gets a shelter built before 30 days, like Benji did. I think between Tom, Benji, and Jesse, they might have what it takes to win the competition. Those 3. Let me know below who you want to see win alone this season, who you're rooting for, who you don't want to see win it. How long do you think Argo can go eating just plain seaweed? How much for longer do you think he can go doing that? Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.